Just doing a live stream here. Just wanted to do some Q&A live on all platforms. Let me know which platform you're coming in on. Got Instagram down here if I look down here. But yeah, Mel and I are going to start doing these weekly Q&A sessions. We used to do them a lot more, and we figured that we want to start doing them again. So again, do not be shy. We're going to start going live every single week. Who knows how long? Might be 20 minutes, might be 30 minutes, might be 40. And just kind of answer some random Q&A. So if you've got some questions, if I'm looking down here, so I've got platforms here and I've got a platform here. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at Instagram. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to post the question, okay? All right, there's the chat here. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Where are you located? So Mel and I are located in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. However, we are investing in 5 different countries. Okay, so we're investing in Canada, we're investing in the US, particularly Texas and Florida. We're investing in Mexico, Tulum. Actually, I think the deal closed at July, the end of this month or next month, I forget. Costa Rica and Dominican Republic. So yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions. Do not be shy. Instagram is down here. Whoops. And yeah, let us know if you have questions. Instagram. Hello from your partners in sunny Mexico. Hello, Horacio, my friend. Love it. Horacio is awesome. Looking for a real estate agent. He's the guy in Mexico. What do you think about wholesaling? Wholesaling, yes. I am not a wholesaler. Just to be completely honest with you guys, I am not a wholesaler. Nothing wrong with wholesaling. That's not my kind of forte. The only thing I would strongly suggest, I know a lot of amazing wholesalers, okay, a lot of really good wholesalers, is just make sure you're looking at the comps. Just make sure the comps are valid, that you're doing your own due diligence, and that if someone says, hey, the after repair value, or hey, I got this deal, X amount of dollars under market value, that you are making sure that that is valid, okay? That it is under market value, that you are getting a good deal, all of that. So please, again, just there's the chat. Come on, Dave. There's a new platform here. I am a wholesaler. Amazing. That's awesome. Daveville1, love it. Yeah, again, I have a lot of good friends that are wholesalers. I know a lot of people that make a lot of money wholesaling. I've done it 2-3 times. Made some money. It was deals that I was not closing on, so I kind of did, a wholesale deal on it. But yeah, Rick, hello, Dave from Las Vegas. Love it. Does your program apply to properties here in the States? 100%, Rick. So it applies in Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Okay, so I love that you asked that, but 100% it does apply to Nevada, where you are, my friend. Instagram, what other questions do we have here? If I'm living in Cancun, okay, and you can join our mentoring program as well. We do have students in Mexico that are investing in Texas. Actually, if you are interested, I should, we actually have a webinar. I forgot to mention that. We have a webinar tomorrow night. What day are we? Wednesday. So tomorrow, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Mel and I will be going live. We're doing a webinar, which we'll be chatting a little bit about us, get to know us. We'll be chatting about what else? Creative financing, obviously how to buy real estate using none of your own money, no joint venture partners. You know what? Let me move this right here. So I'm kind of looking in both the same spot. And then how to do it, with other people's money, with no joint venture partners. That's our huge thing, is we do not have any partners. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having partners. It's just, honestly, I like keeping 100% of the money. I like making 100% of the decisions. I like keeping 100% of the money. When I refinance a deal, I don't want to share that money. I pay back the private lenders, yes, because that wasn't my money to start off with, right? I pay them back plus the interest, 100%. I always say that the refinance and the lift of the asset is for the investors or the private lenders. But after that, I don't want to share that piece of the pie. I want all of that to myself, right? So anyway, tomorrow we'll be chatting 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going live. I think we'll be doing it from our lake house, actually. I don't think we'll come in the studio. To go or to register, you have to register. I think you get our free ebook if you register as well. It is www. Someone can write this down, actually, in one of the chats. www.iloveopm.com. Okay. www.iloveopm.com. Maxim, where do you find your private lenders and shorter long term? Shorter long term, it depends. Yeah, so private lenders. What I love is seller financing. Okay, and if you really look at it, Mel says this best. Technically, and obviously, I'm being not being sarcastic here, but I'm exaggerating. Every single seller could be seller financing, right? Now, again, obviously, not every single seller is going to hold it, but seller financing is an option that is very available and applicable all over the place, right? So that is my favorite go-to, having the seller hold either a first mortgage up to a certain loan to value, holding either a second mortgage as mostly my down payment, my downstroke. But then, yeah, registered funds. So if you're in Canada, that's RRSPs, TFSAs, LIRAs. If you're in the US, that is Roth IRA and 401ks. Those as well can be used as first or second mortgages. You can also combine a couple of different people's registered funds to give you mortgages as well. You can, what's the word I'm looking for here? Syndicate. So not syndicate the deal, but actually syndicate the mortgage. And then also promissory notes. Okay, I've got a question here from YouTube. Should you go to CMHC ahead of doing any deals to see if how your financing looks to them? So that's Brian. So for our American folks, our friends here, so CMHC is Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation. In the States, this is basically your Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, right? So it's that insured financing or that basically backed financing. So same difference, right? CMHC is more. It's more backed up by the federal government, where Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac is more backed up by Wall Street and that type of thing. But same difference. So honestly, Brian, should you go to them first? It depends. Like if you're looking for creative financing, like I've utilized them multiple times. If you're looking for creative financing, you're not going to go to them in the beginning to actually buy your deal because they don't allow for creative financing. They're very traditional, right? But you might go to them once, if you buy your asset here with other people's money and you lift it, and now you're looking at getting more of that traditional financing where it's going to be, lower interest rate, higher loan to value, then that's when you would utilize them. So it just depends as where you're at and where your deal's at as well, like in the life cycle of the deal. Good question, Brian. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, www.iloveopm.com. And guys, I'm doing just random Q&A. If anyone has any questions, please do not be shy. Ask away. I'm going to start doing these probably weekly like I used to. Whoops. What am I doing here, Dave? Stop touching buttons. Someone asked here earlier. Whoops, where'd it go? That's right. Oh, I think it was another question on seller financing. Yeah, seller financing. So does the seller need to have it completely paid off? No. And that's going to depend on what type of is going to be a first or second mortgage. But if a seller is going to hold a first mortgage, it'll need to be paid off. Okay. Request to be on. How'd you get the money for your first rental? Well, unfortunately, for my first rental, I ended up using my own money. Right. I ended up not knowing how to use other people's money. Oops. Where'd it go here? Yeah, I ended up not using my own money. And I used I used my own money. I didn't use other people's money. So it's a slow process when you're using your own money, is I guess what I'm doing. It's not the wrong way of doing it. It's just if you're looking at buying, your own house and you've got your own down payment and that's your only play, cool. If you're wanting to keep as much of your own money as possible, even if it is your primary residence, even if it is your first house, you could still do house hacking, right? Which will keep money in your pocket, right? As long as you have an exit strategy, as long as you know how you're going to pay back that private lender, and as long as you know how you're going to pay back that money, like that is huge. Mel and I are all about you have to know how you're going to exit before you enter. But that's how I bought my first house. I still own that same single family dwelling. I just refinanced it. Well, the refinance has been taking a little bit longer, but it's supposed to close by the end of this week. That little house, it cash flows about 600 to 800. Now with the refinance, it's going to dip down a little bit. So maybe like 450, I think, to $500 a month. And I've refinanced it 4 times now. Like this is the thing, like that single family home, even though I bought it not knowing what I was doing back then, okay, and used my own money, it's cash flowed for the last over a decade now. Yeah, oh my gosh, over a decade now, and I refinanced it 4 times. Like think of the infinite, anyway, you guys know what I'm saying here. I got some questions. Okay, LinkedIn. Hi, Dave. When doing due diligence on multifamily property, what info to ask the seller to make sure tenants are up to rent and tenant's profile? I would definitely get the tenant acknowledgements, right? This is going to be a legal document that is going to basically state all of the, right, is the rent up to date? Is there any pending lawsuit or litigation? So have that, and that's going to be signed off by them, and the lawyers and attorneys will, but it's a legal document, right? And that'll give you the good, bad, and the ugly of what's going on with the current tenants and the status. Hey, Dave, do I need to get a realtor license? Would you recommend? Okay, so full disclosure, I am now a real estate agent. I'm licensed in 2 different provinces. I was almost licensed in 1 state, but then it came down to like visa and blah, 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 work visas and all that. So anyway, I am a licensed real estate agent with eXp Brokerage. If that's something that ever interests you, if you are a real estate agent, you want to join our action agents, that's a whole other thing. Send me a separate message. Now, to be an investor focused, or to be an investor, you do not need to be a real estate agent. Okay, not going to lie, you do not need to be a real estate agent. I don't want to freak people out. I don't want people to think they need this. Mel and I bought over 240 units, and I was not a real estate agent. I just got mine, to be honest with you, for the value add component. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm doing my own deals. Why am I not getting commissions on them, right? And then also for our Action Family, which is a mentoring program that Mel and I have, we've got over, I believe now it's 1,700 students, where we're showing people how to do exactly what we do. Because I introduced them to the professionals that we use, right? And I was like, why? That was one place that I was not helping as much as I could. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to find investor-focused agents for myself and for obviously our students, the Action Family. So yeah, good question. You do not need to be a licensed agent to do what we do. However, I am one now, but don't think you need to be one. If you want to be one, awesome. Reach out to me and I'll definitely help you on whatever platform you're watching me on right now. If you're already an agent and you're like, you know what, Dave, I want to join you. I want to join what you've got going with the Action Agents. Definitely send me a message and I can help you become or help you grow as an investor-focused real estate agent. So there's no wrong answer there, guys. Where do you find these private lenders? You're supposed to, where do you find private lenders? Honestly, private lenders are everywhere. Like I said, seller financing is our favorite go-to. Social media, we use a lot of it. You're actually going to see me. You're going to see me posting and doing stories about this upcoming. We currently have a deal under contract in Costa Rica for, that one is $300,000. Is it a 5-bedroom casa? Oh, I'd have to go back and look. Anyway, it's a $300,000 casa, which means house. I just like saying casa because it sounds cool. But it's it's a house, and it's going to be a short-term rental. Purchase price is $300,000. The seller is going to hold $200,000 first mortgage. I believe it's 6 or 7% interest only for a year, and then I'll be looking for $100,000 of other people's money for the downstroke. So anyway, things like that, you'll be seeing that. Social media is great for raising funds, right? The cool thing is again, I'm here in North Bay, Ontario, Canada, quarterbacking deals, right? In Canada, I'm looking in Alberta, I'm going to have some deals under contract there too. I'll be looking for some funds out there in Canada as well, Texas and Florida, also Arkansas and Ohio. So I'll be looking at funds in the US as well. If this is something that interests you, definitely send me a DM, whether it's cash or whether it's registered funds, I'll be looking at that. But honestly, there's private money everywhere. There's so much money and there's so many deals. You just have to be vocal and be looking for it, guys. So yeah, again, and that's the thing. If you want to learn how to do this, we've got a webinar tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern live, okay? And I think Rick had put it here. Someone can put it on Instagram. It's www. I love this one, I love OPM, right? OPM stands for other people's money. I love OPM.com and register. You actually get our free book. If you register and attend the webinar, you get the Mel and I's free ebook. It's an Amazon bestseller. Okay. It's a very short read. It's like 88 pages. It's boom to the point. But yeah, you get it. So if you want to be an investor yourself, do this. We have the action family for you. Okay, which the webinars tomorrow. So on Instagram. There you go. Thank you. Naturally Happy 22. I love OPM.com. Thank you for the teamwork there. Can we do BABD? Can we earn from property through different parts of the world, or is it only for America? I'm doing 5 different countries, my friend. Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Okay. And this is the cool thing. So a lot of people, you know what? I was just doing content this morning with my team on this because this is a question we get all the time. Like, Dave, I live here and I've analyzed deals and nothing makes sense and the cap rates are low and the purchase prices are too high and XYZ. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't want you to continue not taking action. Like live where you want to live. Live where you want to live. Do what you want to do. But when you're looking at income properties, it's all about returns. It's all about making money. It's all about paying back the investors. We can all agree on that. So live where you want to live, but invest where returns are best. And if your market isn't giving you the best returns or isn't landlord friendly, for example, if you're in a province or a state that is tenant friendly and you want to be more landlord friendly, then invest in other places, right? So yes, Doobie, you can definitely invest in other places, make money. And that's what I love about it, right? You can make money in different places while also diversifying your portfolio, but still doing the same thing. Okay. Rick Jones, I'm very interested in learning more about creative financing. However, the competition here in Vegas against other investors is hard. The vast majority of rentals here are investors, and many legit buyers get outbid by these investors. How would you overcome that? Yes. And I see this all the time. So, Rick, I love that you asked that question. And I see this in, like, for example, in the States, I see it in Vegas, I see it in Miami, I see it in San Francisco. Like, I see it in Canada, it's Toronto, Vancouver. Like, guys, pick a province or state, pick the hot markets. This is the same thing that I'm hearing all over the places, Dave. Everything is outbid. Things are on the market. People are putting no condition offers, and they're gone. With no inspection, no conditions, no due diligence, and it is what it is. So I 100% hear you, Rick. That goes on all over the place. That being said, again, honestly, I do not do those types of deals, and I do not suggest doing those types of deals because, and you can, some people do them and make a lot of money. And again, it's just when I'm doing a deal, I have to do my due diligence. I have to do dot my I's, cross my T's because I'm using other people's money. I'm extra vigilant and due diligent. Well, I'm always doing my due diligence, but because I have that extra element of, hey, if I mess up my own money, that's my problem. If I mess up someone else's money, not cool. You know what I mean? So that's why I go extra over and above when I'm using other people's money. And what I'm getting at here, Rick, is in every one of those markets, okay, you can still find sellers, and I'll keep using seller financing example for this. There are going to be sellers that will be pickier. And what I mean by pickier is they will, yes, could they sell it on the market? Yes, 100%. And they're still going to want their asking price because it is what it is. They know that they could get what they want. However, they will want to get the benefits of holding mortgages for people or holding financing for people, right? So, for example, they're going to want the benefit of, yes, getting the purchase price. That's one piece of the puzzle. Succession planning. They're going to want to set this up where, yes, they get to liquidate the asset, right? They sell it to you, for example, okay? However, they get to plan out when they're going to actually pay those capital gains. So, for example, if they sell it to you this year, if they did not hold a mortgage, they would be taking, unless they do a 1031 exchange, but they would be getting all that money and they would be paying a tax on it. Now, for succession planning, they could build it out with you going, hey, I'll sell it to you this year. So the asset, the management, all of that goes to you. The ownership goes to you. However, you know what? I'm going to hold the mortgage up to 5 years for you. And I now get to spread, right? I call it spreading the love, but I get to spread over that tax deferral over the 5 years, which helps me, which helps my succession plan. I'm talking as the seller right now. The other thing is they're going to be making money with it too, right? So if they're making passive investment, like Mel and I are currently holding 4 different mortgages. Still got the price we wanted, was picky on who we sold it to. And again, Succession planning, I'm deciding, how I want to do my tax or my capital gains, right? Because I get to defer it up to 5 years. So, Rick, I would just say again, if you want to invest there, you can find deals where people are willing to hold mortgages for those exact reasons. And it's hard to explain without showing you. And there's ways to find sellers before they even know they're going to sell too. But yeah, it's definitely doable. And the thing is, and I know Rick, you didn't ask this, okay? So, but I'm just going to go with general because a lot of people will say, Dave, it doesn't exist where I live. It doesn't exist in the province that I live in or the state that I live in. And I'm here to say, and again, Rick, I know you didn't ask this, so I'm just using a general one, so I'm not picking on you, man. But like I hear it all the time is, yes, it does work where you are. Yes, it does exist where you are or where you investing, because it's in the tax code. So whether you're in Canada, right, CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, or if you're in the States, the IRS, the tax code is the tax code. It doesn't go, this works, tax deferral, if you hold a financing works except for in Toronto. Or the IRS doesn't say this works except for in Miami, right? It doesn't work that way. So when people tell you, hey, people don't do that here, or hey, it doesn't work here, just know that yes, it does, and don't listen to them. Okay? I've heard that so many times. Rick, again, I know you didn't ask that, man. I'm not, but I just kind of wanted to have that. Was it 2 cents, 10 cents? Put my 2 cents in there on that particular subject. Guys, if you have any other questions, again, do not be shy. We're going to start doing these weekly, just to do basically random Q&A. So if you have questions, I know on Instagram here moves so quickly. So like, when questions come in, I got to try and like capture them quickly. IG. Thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. Whoops. I'll shake the phone right off the stand here. Do I need to be a permanent resident? So PR. So if we have a lot of immigrants that we help, right, that are either new to Canada, new to the US, you do not need to have your PR, your permanent residence. Now, that being said, so for example, I'm a foreign national in 4 out of 5 of the countries that I'm investing in. You can still invest in places even though you're not a citizen or have your permanent residence. That being said, it will change up the game a little bit. Meaning, so for example, if you are a citizen of that country and you are purchasing an asset versus someone who is not a citizen of that country and doesn't have their permanent residence, it will most likely change the loan to value, right? The LTV, meaning the amount of money that the financial institutions will actually lend to you. And then it'll most likely increase the interest rates. Okay. So if a natural born citizen or someone who has their permanent residence or someone that has their citizenship, they might get a higher loan to value, lower interest rate. You might get a lower loan to value at a higher interest rate, but it's still doable. Diego, hey Dave, follow up from that last comment. Do these strategies work in Mexico? So Mexico will be a little different, Diego. If you are a Mexican citizen buying in Mexico, it'll be easier. Like I'm not a Mexican citizen, but I'm still buying in Tulum, and still using other people's money. It'll just be a little bit of a different play. Okay, so it's not going to be using mortgages like we do in Canada and the US, right? Like in North America, we highly leverage financing and debt and financial institutions. In Mexico, again, because I'm not a Mexican citizen, I can't get a mortgage there, but it'll be using money from North America to leverage those assets. So definitely still doable. All right, Instagram had some questions, but I missed them. Can I have a 5-minute call with you? Honestly, guys, what I would suggest is go to the webinar tomorrow night, right? The www.iloveopm.com. Mel and I, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Mel and I are going to be breaking down a little bit about us, just showing you how there's nothing special about us, right? How we've done it, mindset. We're huge on mindset, breaking down deals. You're welcome, Diego. Breaking down deals, going through creative financing strategies, and just showing you how this can be done in the same 5 countries that we're investing in. Instagram, does your method apply in African countries like Uganda? Honestly, Sam, I'm not sure. That one I don't have experience on. The 5 countries that I do, I just don't want to lie to you, is Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. I have a lot of mentees that have immigrated from South Africa, but I'm not, yeah. I'd be over promising there. I don't want to lie to you either, my friend. All right, Instagram. You guys had a bunch of other ones up there. You're welcome. Okay, there you go. Registered funds mortgages. No, okay, this comes up a lot as well. People and guys, okay, how do I say this? You don't know what you don't know, and this also goes for I talk to a lot of people all the time. I even hear lawyers, I even hear accountants, and I'm not here to shed any, I'm not here to knock anyone or anything like that, but I do hear lawyers, attorneys, accountants, CPAs that will sometimes say to me, or even our students will say, "Hey, I talked to my accountant, and they said using registered funds for a mortgage is illegal." No, it's not. Okay, or the lawyer, the accountant, yeah, the using seller financing doesn't work here, or it's illegal, right? Like, and this is something that held me back before because I would hear different things about creative financing, and I thought it had a negative, what's the word, connotation or whatever that it came with that stigma. And once I got past that, once I realized, oh, why are people thinking that, right? Or no, it's not illegal. That's when Mel and I's portfolio exploded. So if you are hearing that, which again is common, you can't do that here. It's illegal. That doesn't work from accountants or CPAs or lawyers or attorneys. I've heard it as well. And it's not, they're not trying to be mean. They're not trying to do anything. It's just they don't know what they don't know. Okay. And so don't let that deviate you from building your portfolio or from being inspired to use creative financing, because I see that a lot of times where, and that's why in our mentoring program we introduce people to the pros that we use that actually understand creative financing, that actually do other people's money, mortgages, that understand the tax benefits and how to structure your portfolio, right? In Canada, how to structure your corporations. In the US, how to structure your LLCs in order to be able to accommodate and make sure that you're set up properly. So if you are hearing that, please don't let that deviate you from using creative financing. Okay, it is legal. You can do it. It does work everywhere. Yeah, because that's something I hear all the time. I just don't want you to get bummed out over that. Avery Eng, top fan here. Thank you, Avery. Love it. And again, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're doing Q&A. If you have questions, we're going over it. We're going to start doing this weekly. Summertime as time permits, but okay, Mosen, how do you compare the Dubai real estate market to the US, and can I apply your theory in Dubai? Honestly, my friend, I'm not familiar with Dubai. Just don't want to lie to you. We do US, Canada, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Habib, do you think it makes sense to ask for seller credit during closing instead of a price reduction so we don't need to bring down payment to close if the credit covers the down payment amount? Like, okay, do you think it makes sense? I want to make sure we're on the same page here. Price reduction and the credit, the holdback and credits, those can get gray in those, if that's what you mean, Habib. Those can get gray. Those can be a little. Ask that more, Habib. I think you're part of the Action family. Ask that in the Action family, Habib, and I'll be able to go more in detail on that and really break it down micro for you. Avery, love what you guys are doing. Hope to learn from you very soon. 100%, Avery. Can foreigners like myself do exactly what you guys are doing? What country are you in, Avery? What country are you in, and what country do you want to invest in? And you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to either. Is owner financing common? Yes. So you're in Singapore. Okay, so you're in Asia. So okay, where did it go here? So I can help you as a foreign investor buying in those countries. Like I want to invest in the USA. Yeah, 100%. 100%, Avery. Avery, attend the webinar, send us a message, and you can either, maybe talk to Mel and I or our team. But yeah, I can help you if you think about, okay, Avery, think about this. I'm a foreign, what is it called, Gus? Sometimes they're called aliens or foreign national. So I'm a foreign national investing in the US as well, right? So definitely can help you. India, yes, I can help you as well. Oh, thank you, Akram. www.iloveopm.com. Love it. Yeah, 100%. Can help you guys invest there. Again, just know that it will be a little different. Instead of a citizen or someone that has their permanent resident in those countries, the loan to value and the interest rates will be different. Okay, just keep that in mind. However, definitely still doable. You bridge the gap with creative financing. Okay. I want to invest in the US. Okay, Avery, yeah, send us a message. If you've been a big fan, you've been following us for a while, then hey, let me help you. I'm from India. We have lots of students in the Action family that have immigrated from India. Yeah, 100%. Website running okay. It's blocking the link www.iloveopm.com. Can someone else check for me? I don't know if there's anyone from my team. I don't think there's anyone from my team on. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Can someone else check, guys? Is anybody else having an issue with the www.iloveopm.com? Looking to fly to learn from you guys live. Hey, we're actually doing a presentation in September in Toronto. Again, Avery, send a message to my team, a DM on whatever platform you're on. They'll give you the link. We're actually going to be speaking at an event in Toronto with, oh gosh, I butchered her name, Barb Corcoran. Oh gosh, I'm so bad at that. She's from Shark Tank or Dragon's Den. I just registered now. Awesome. Yeah, oh, it's working. Len says it's working. Awesome, guys. So Diego, it might be you, my friend. Brian, what's the best math to do to know if the asking price is good or not? Honestly, Brian, I take out all the guesswork. I use our cash flow analysis matrix. It's something that we have. Thank you. Website's working fine. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So Brian, honestly, I use our cash flow analysis matrix. It's a tool that Mel and I have. It's an Excel spreadsheet. We've actually had it trademarked. We've been using it. It underwrites just like the financial institutions. It stress tests just like the financial institutions. It actually gives you your exit strategy. So, and Brian, I keep using your questions to elaborate and kind of go dive deeper. So the exit strategy, I'll just be honest, and this is going to sound cheesy, guys. Mel and I always exit the deal before we enter. And what I mean by this is when you're using other people's money, you 100% need to know how you are going to exit that deal, how you are going to pay them back. That is a non-negotiable. You have to know that. Like I've seen so many investors, over the years, and this is when Mel and I were doing a lot of research and analyzing and building out our systems. I saw so many people that were building portfolios, having success, short-term success, but they went belly up or they failed or they got jammed up. And it's because they did not have their exit strategy. So Mel and I are absolutely obsessed with this. When we created our strategies, right, the OPM action system in order to invest into real estate with other people's money, when we created the action family, when we created the cash flow analysis matrix, we were absolutely obsessed with the exit, the deal. You have to know how you're going to pay them back. Okay, so if you take anything from this live today, this Q&A live, guys, that I just wanted to do randomly, we're going to do these every week. Might do another one today, actually. You might get Mel. So look, if you're interested, around the 4, can't promise, because I got to go pick up our little guy at one of those day camps. So if you're a parent, you know what that's like, right? Picking up the kids from day camps. Around 4 or 4:30 or so, Mel might go live on all these platforms again. So if you're like, hey, Dave, you've been a slice, but I'd rather try it with Mel, look around 4 or 4:30. But yeah, the cash flow analysis matrix, the exit strategy, Brian, it has 4 pillars. The deal needs to meet all 4 pillars. And that will literally take the guesswork out. Does the deal make sense? What's the purchase price what can the deal afford to pay? This is huge. What can the deal afford to buy this building at? Like, what should the deal be sold at to justify what the actual current income and expenses are, what the current rent roll is? So it's. I know I'm giving you a convoluted answer, Brian. It's just I think you know what I'm saying. Link is working fine. Awesome. Okay, guys, thanks. I'll be checking in there. Yeah, Diego, 100%. Avery, how about next year, this year? I'm caught up with my property. I know we're in Tampa Bay in September as well. So we're in Florida one weekend, and then we're in Tampa Bay, Florida the weekend after. Look, oh yeah, because you're in Singapore. That's right. Greetings from Chile. Hey, Miguel. Looking tidy, everything up by the end of this year to start learning from you guys. Cool. And honestly, timing is everything, Avery. And if you're saying, you know what, next year is better for me, cool. Well, Mel and I are not going anywhere, right? The Action Family's not going anywhere. Name your guys' book on Amazon. Oh, geez, what is it? I think it's oh gosh. I could see it in my head, but I can't. Real estate investing guide. Oh gosh. What is our book on Amazon? Isn't that bad? In my other studio, I've got it right behind. Usually I just grab and go, this is what it's called. If someone could tell me what my book is called, Secrets. Here, let me look it up. Dave. Oh, it's not Tell Mel. I couldn't even remember the name of our book. I can't find it. If someone can find it, guys, I just don't want to mess up the live here. Any advice? Okay, where'd it go? We do give our book away for free if you attend the webinar tomorrow. Okay, I do want to say that. Whatever the title is, because I can't think of it off the top of my head, we do give it away for free tomorrow. I'll find it. Let's definitely not tell Mel that I could not remember the title of the book. There's a question here. What was it? Any advice in stocks? Oh, geez. No, I'm not a stock person, just to be honest with you. Disabled, mortgage is variable and hard times to pay it. 200K left on the mortgage in Toronto. What to do? Yeah, so they're probably doing the. It's triggering the with the oh gosh. I just had a conversation about the mortgage broker today, or on Monday. He said he had some clients. They had 12 variable mortgages, and they were all triggering the. Can't think of the word I'm looking for here, and it was causing them a lot of heartache and hardship. And this is why, okay, when you're buying the deal, and I'm not trying to harp here, because hindsight's 2020, but this is why stress testing the deal is so important, right? And a lot of people who were buying those deals in 2020, 2021, who are getting like 1.89% financing, and they might be coming up for renewals, or their term might be up now if they had a 2-3 year term, or even someone from even 2019 or 2018 are coming up on that 5-year term, or their balloon, and the deal doesn't make sense anymore. That's why, honestly, when you're doing deals, you have to stress test them. And you can't just keep thinking interest rates are, and again, that's why that exit strategy and stress testing is so important. There it is. Thank you. Real Estate Investing Secrets, a no BS guide to creating wealth and freedom. That's the name of our book. Thank you to whoever found it. I appreciate you. And for the record, we will tell Mel that I remembered. I came up with that. Is there any preparation work I need to do before attending your course? Avery, keep following us on social media, guys. If you're on in Instagram, I know you're obviously following on Instagram. Guys, if you're looking for, and it depends what type of content you want. Obviously on Instagram, we do posts, right? It'll be carousels and reels, which is shorter content, which is awesome. But then if you're like, okay, I want to hear Mel and Dave talk a little bit more, well, we have a YouTube channel, right? We release a video every single week. Some videos will be, we're interviewing some of our students. Like last week, I believe we released Babar and Fazan. They're a good partnership, right? They met through a mastermind, they became partners, and they're doing flips and rezoning work, right? We have other people, like Mel has a Woman of Action show on there. I've got the Real Deal show. We have if you're a real estate agent, we have that show as well. So if you go on our YouTube and you want more of a longer form type of content from Mel and I, subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. It's always Investor Mel Dave. So if you go on YouTube, Investor Mel Dave. So Avery, if you're saying, hey Dave, I don't want to join your Action Family for a while. I got to get stuff wrapped up. I got to button up some things, but in the near future, I will. Every single week, we release a video on YouTube. What's this week? I think this week is What is this week? I believe this week is it's about short-term rentals. Yes, it's short-term rentals versus long-term rentals because the majority of our portfolio is multifamily. Okay, multifamily, long-term rentals. People will always need a place to live, food, and water. So if we can provide one of those three services, we'll never go out of business, right? If done properly. So what I would strongly suggest is check out our YouTube. This week, it's going to be on Friday, actually. Typically, we release videos on Thursday. This week is going to be Friday. And check it out. It's going to be short-term rentals versus long-term rentals. Now, we have both. But again, the lion's share is that multifamily, never going anywhere. Banks always lend it. People always need to stay on it. However, we do have short-term rentals, in Orlando and Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican, because it's cool, right? It's awesome. It cash flows. It's a nice asset to have as well. But in this video, we go through both. Like I see a lot of people that don't think of some things with short-term rentals. They just see, hey, what's the monthly cash flow, but they don't think of all these other things. So that's what the video is going to be. Just subscribe to your YouTube channel. Awesome, Avery. And those of you who are watching me on YouTube and on Facebook and on LinkedIn, come follow us on Instagram. I think we're at like 255,000 followers on Instagram. Amazing. Everyone who's following us on it. And if you're on the Instagram live and you're not following us yet, Mel and I post every single day. Sometimes we'll do random lives like this. When we do podcasts, you'll get to see behind the scenes on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please follow us there as well, because you'll see some other stuff behind the scenes as well. How do you feel with cities banning Airbnb? Okay, boom. We're Koji Kaboto. This is something I touched on our YouTube video this week. I really hope it's this video this week, because I'm saying it's this one. Some cities are literally banning short-term. Everyone calls it Airbnb. Let's call it what it is. It's short-term rentals, okay? VRBO, Airbnb, whatever. Short-term rentals. Some cities are banning it. Some of them are making it like a lottery system. I believe some states are making it a lottery system. I know some municipalities, some counties, some cities, some are reducing the amount that you can do, right? Like I looked at doing one. I bought a lake house for a cottage, right? For Mel and I. That's where Mel's probably most likely going to be going live later on at like 4 or 4:30. Some people like Mel more than me. Some people say Mel looks better than me. I always get that one. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That one we were actually going to rent out until we found out that you can only rent it for 3 months out of the year, and it has to be 3 consecutive months. And the 3 consecutive months that made the most amount of sense were obviously summer. It's on the lake, right? It's in cottage country. And we're like, that's when we want to use it. So we don't rent it because of that. So this is the things with short-term rentals. There's all these little, or if you're a condo, or if you're a house, if you're in a condominium type style, or in an HOA, homeowners association type ownership, they can stipulate things and they can change bylaws where all of a sudden you had a cash flowing asset, and now that can be gone very quickly, right? This is why I love multifamily. I still do short-term rentals, but our money, I'm never going to jeopardize my family's money. That's why the meat and potatoes, the building blocks of my portfolio is long-term multifamily. Banks will always loan on it. People will always need to stay, and there's a shortage. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave a couple different things. If you're not following our YouTube channel, go check it out. It's always at Investor Mel Dave. If you're not following us on Instagram here, where we have 255,000 followers, love it. 250,000. Oh my gosh, who would have thought? Love it. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Where we go sometimes live and go behind the scenes on podcasts and things like that. We have a webinar tomorrow night, www.iloveopm.com. Mel and I go through. We're going to be live with you for like an hour and a half, maybe. We have Q&A at the end as well. So yeah, come and you get our free book. Hey, you're like, hey, I'm Dave, I'm new to you. Cool. Read our book. If you sign up for the webinar, www.iloveopm.com. Sign up to the webinar, get the book for free. It's 88 pages. And you can read it in one sitting, okay? And if you're a real estate agent and you want to join our real estate agent, our team through eXp Realty, send me a message. Thank you so much to everyone who's putting it in the chat there. Awesome, guys. I'm about to go live with the Action Family, okay, where we dive deeper, obviously, on all that. Guys, Instagram, thank you. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to end the live. Don't know how I do that quite yet. It's my first time here. But yeah, if you want to see Mel will be coming live today somewhere between 4 and 4:30. Okay. Oh, 256,000 followers. Thank you, Avery. That's awesome. Thanks for the update. So Instagram, I will say bye for now. Appreciate you guys. And now I think I ended that. Mel usually does the techie stuff. And then you guys who is all in this chat, appreciate you guys. Again, don't be shy. See you on the webinar. Once a week we'll be doing this, if not more. Mel will see you guys between 4 and 4:30 today.